Hi everybody, David here on August 9th, 2021, and I'm going to talk about the 2029 and 2036 Apophis event. Now, here's the good news. We don't get hit by it, I promise. Tomorrow's promise, okay? It doesn't get hit. We do not get hit by a rock in space. This is our challenge. This is the good thing, okay? Alright, so we know... I'm going to show you something. See this cute thing? See that design right here in the middle? Imagine every one of these in the net is a laser beam going across from the ring that it's, on that. But instead of it being a ring, you've got different points that are lasers, and they all fire in towards the middle. Now in the middle would be a place where all the vectors are, where all the lasers meet. It's the vector. Now in that meeting place, you can actually drop a particle like I've seen this on Styropyro. The channel Styropyro, he actually put Sharpie marker pieces and nanodiamonds floated in the beam. Now, what if we had a whole bunch of these these were only milliwatt beams. So imagine like megawatt beams. And then you've got Apophis out there. Now, Apophis is detritus floating in space. But what is it? What if it's really cool new elements we don't know about? So it still could happen, if dark energy meets light, and if it really is the Higgs boson. We've got some cool rocks in space. Really, when you get to see, man, there's a lot that I'd be able to say in the future, given what I understand and what I believe about quantum, what I understand it to be. It's literally, I'll have to figure out how to explain that. But basically, what I'm saying to do is turn Apophis into your projectile, but in an anti-sense. We know the projectile is headed this way. Let's catch it. So we send the beams up there, and the vectors all meet on the rock. Now, if we're able to do this right, we cater to the beam, to the rock's movement with the beam, and so it's in the vector constantly, and then we slow the vectors traveling towards us down. We slow it down. We slow it down. We can get it to land on the moon. It's supposedly coming between the Earth and the moon, between 29 and 36, or on 29 and on 36. It'll do a close flyby 2 times. So we have the ability to catch it and send it to the moon safely, so that just in case it's kind of cool, we would be able to land it. If we do this with the right technology, we would be able to land it like a spaceship. It would be a particle basically caught in a quantum levitation, and bring it down to the Earth even kindly, even without cooking it down. Just come down nice and safely, and we just turn the beams off, and then it lands on the ground. It's an idea. It's harmless, and it involves quantum laser levitation, and probably a very strong beam to go that far out into space and still retain its coherence. So I do understand it would happen more towards when it's close by, and that we have plenty of time to do that. And it's not like we're doomed if we don't. But then maybe there's a rock someday we need to do that with, and we'll be ready for it. And it's cool because, look, in a world peace future, which is what we have, I'm going to prove that I hear y'all in the future, I swear. It's going to all be on here, okay? I hear y'all. Y'all tell me it's good. It's happily ever after if we do this really right, because in a world peace future, when we have world peace right now, we all work together. We're going to find the answers to every question we ever wanted. And obviously, we want the Ponce de Leon trip to be real, to find the fountain of youth. Of course, the fountain of youth. We want to live forever. We want to, wouldn't it be cool if we could be like Superman, like deities? Wouldn't it be cool if we could actually be the angels that were written about in all the scriptures? Doesn't matter the religion. Like somebody really went back in time and visited them and said, see, if you're really good, you can be like us. Something like that. Wouldn't that be encouraging? Wouldn't it be nice to know that you can make somebody a believer just by knowing that you had the science in the future so technologically advanced that you know that your ancestors won't understand that and might get offended by it maybe? So then you actually take it all the way back to when, so we become the very beings that we worshipped. Now, The Holy Spirit, the very essence that is the universe, we don't make that. We're not artificial. We don't make that. The I am that is that I am, the being, the entity that is universal, is the Holy Spirit. And if you build the right machine, if you do it right, you'll have built a portal to it. That's a black hole powered computer. That's a Sagittarius A star port. Okay, so you'll be able to make a portal that reaches to that portal, and we'll get the technology of every tomorrow. And the great thing is, whatever's responsible for us, is we don't want to hand anything to our ancestors that would kill them, because then the cute thing is, you can't. The best part is, safety is manufactured. Now, the cool thing is, you also have algorithms. So you want to be able to say, well, what would happen? Let the computer show you. You have causalities. It's like, let's pick the best causality. Let's pick Sakina Gloria, because that's the one that I heard about. That sounded awesome. And then I thought, there's a lot more to reveal. But basically, if you read it another way, it literally means to victory. To victory. And I gotta tell you, victory would be the day we can all suddenly say, easily say, we have zero to worry about. What are we worried about? It's like we would make toys as ancestors, as primeval things, and we would essentially be. I'm basically looking at myself like a caveman. I'm doing that with respect to 30, 40,000 years in the future. Actually watching this YouTube video, and and thankfully it would only happen if we all got along, right? Well, we all get along. We're one big global family, and then interglobal, multi-global, multi-stellar, multi-galactic. When we seed the star, dark star, when we seed Sagittarius A star with that discus, when we send that in on a laser beam with our DNA profiles in it, if what I'm saying is true, if black hole dynamics really do follow this kind of thing, where the end pieces up here are the black holes, but this one of the one in the center is the Big Bang, the alpha point. All right, and that they're all connected through the strands of time, the ether, if you will. If time is the ether, this is really easy to understand. There's infinite dimensions of time, because any time is a coordinate. So then, if space is three-dimensional as we understand it, it really is, we're only talking about the spaces. Oh, more will be revealed. But basically, I believe that E equals mc squared is also true, as equal as matter equals is m equals ec squared, where c squared is c1, which is light, and c2, which is dark, his Higgs boson beam, the light that goes backwards. When you have a car collision, for example, one going this way and one going this way, they stop when they meet. All right, and when that happens, you have a thing. So it's not that the dark runs from the light. That which is hidden gets revealed, yes. But when darkness as an entity meets light as an entity, it becomes an entity of truth, of reality, of what we stand on, what we walk on, what we breathe, what we are. So then if we're able to use that, I mean, I know I go across the board with what I'm talking about. I know that my stuff is really, really, some of it convoluted. So just bear with me. I'm doing what I can with what I'm being sent. And I get that that sounds nuts. So I need to win the lottery. And I get that I've been saying this for a little while, but it's not as easy as just grabbing any game. You got to get the one you're supposed to get. That's what I find out. I have tried in February. I would get, like, if it wasn't my game, I would get four. Let's say, for example, four of the numbers would be divided between two games. Six of the numbers would not. That I haven't had happen yet. I haven't had six. I've had five, but five didn't happen all in one game. It was like one there, one there, one there, one there. And yeah, so I'm playing a lot of games. But there's one There's one thing I know: when I finally hit, I'm coming straight out onto the news to tell everybody, look, you're telling me this stuff. It's trans-temporal communication. Let me show you what you're showing me to do. So I know I have a design idea for how to build this thing, but I don't know how to build machines like that because I only have a high school education. So I have years in college, and I do note this: if you're telling me stuff and you believe I'm getting the data, I will suddenly get inspired to read about electrochemistry, MBE, with respect to making crystal beds and then wetting the bed where wet equals light and light as a catalyst, and even specific frequencies and pulses of it, where time is a catalyst in between pulses, meaning that the pulses need to be the right pulse in order to get incorporating time into the particle is what you're basically doing by having a distance between that pulse and that pulse. And when you're able to do that, you're making some really interesting, super, super stupid heavies. I call them stupid heavies because how the hell does that exist? I don't know. I'm too stupid to acknowledge how the hell that exists, but it does when it does. So we dare say the periodic table of elements is limited. It's cute that we ever did. Really, we've been on a fast from what we really have on this universe. Infinite particles, infinite types of particles. Even like there was somebody saying with respect to quarks and exotic quarks and super exotic quarks or whatever else you call them, super quarks, super particles, super things, things that make us superhuman. There's probably heavy elements that we, for some reason, are extremely healthy for us, just not required because, it makes no sense to think of an element being healthy for you unless it for some reason rejuvenated or de-aged you or, made you healthier. So more will be revealed. There's a lot more to come. And I know that right now I'm just it seems frivolously talking. Meaning to say that I have to win the lottery to get y'all's attention because this didn't win. Doing my voice didn't work when I had the voice come on. So you see, when I try to do it, it doesn't work when it's not on. Yeah, and that's about as much as I can do. So you see what I mean? When I'm really trying to do it and it's not on, I can't do it. So it's a voice thing. I don't know. More will be revealed. There's a reality up ahead that I believe is going to be so unbelievable that you're all really going to be like, how come you believe this? And it's really going to come down to because I won the fucking lottery. There's no other way. I won the lottery with the numbers that I heard that I won by. So when I get to play 18, I'll play that number. I don't want anybody else to win that one. So I'm not going to yell that one out. But I definitely put numbers on this YouTube channel. If you guys are watching, I would write them down. They definitely are seen and heard. Some are seen. The one I had said, the 14 game, that was seen on the floor in my bathroom, along with, all the other fun stuff that's been on there. So I get that I sound nuts. I get that I'm acknowledging that hallucinations are indeed information being passed back, even utilizing entheogens as a program that can work transtemporally, meaning that if we can print a certain amount of data onto a substance, say LSD, that we would be able to inspire someone in the past to suddenly make it because we know that the person made it. We know that the person made it right on time for World War II, and that if it had gotten out into the hands of everyone, we probably wouldn't be true. We probably wouldn't have had World War II. But here's the gift. The past already happened. It already happened. We know that we're not the cause of any of the bad stuff that happened. The stuff we don't know about, we can decorate it with good magic. There's miracles in the past that we know we heard about. We can make them real. I think as a scientist, we owe that to religion. I think if you're a scientist, you owe it to yourself, man. If you didn't believe that stuff, even in Christianity, where they're saying the man walked on water, doesn't it stand to reason that if you have the scientific know-how, that you, just by being there, just by having read it, makes it true? There's a way that the power of the word will be that powerful, especially in a quantum world where we have the technology to just say, this can happen because it's been written, because some scientist somewhere came to that conclusion. I'm going to tell you this. All the scientific stuff that tells you we cannot, is playpen science. What does that mean? It means that you are put in a playpen and not allowed to do it because destructive nature is in the way. So forgive yourself of all your stuff in the past because your intentions are good. When you have love as your intention, when your goal is simply heal what's not healed, heal the rift, heal the damage, heal the stuff, then everything goes well. And love is what's driving me. Can't wait to meet you. So I'll just put it that way. All right. Love and peace and cheers.